Hi y'all. I'm going to continue reading from my book, The Simple Pleasures. Any community activity was largely a neighborhood one. Picking up the rare mail and the weekly paper at the village post office, farmers were not given to extensive correspondence, talking politics across the line fence with a neighbor, getting dressed up in store clothes to go to rural Sunday school and church services. The local minister often had two parishes some miles apart, and often he did some farming during the week. Sometimes there were Sunday school picnics or strawberry festivals in the churchyard or evening socials at the schoolhouse with oration, selected literary readings, and even debates. Both children and parents nodded sleepily in the hot little schoolroom after a hard day's work. There was a good deal of neighboring when larger tasks required joint effort, such as the raising of a roof tree for a new barn. At harvest time, steam threshing machines made the rounds from farm to farm and thrashing day, with the women preparing gargantuan meals for the hungry farmers, was always a great community event. Occasionally, families enjoyed something in the nature of a celebration. Sometimes a one-ring circus would visit the country seat, and everyone would pile into a wagon, or even at times take the hack that ran between towns for a day's outing. The annual county fair was a great event too. An exciting melange, I think that's how you say, of horse, cattle, pig exhibitions, prize winning pies and canned fruits and vegetables, horse races, lots of popcorn and soda pop, and a sort of carnival sideshow which parents inspected critically before allowing the children to attend. Pleasures were for the most part simple and the life very close to the soul. People talk today about getting back to the land. Most of them have little idea of what it meant to be on the land in 1900. The really hard life it represented. The routines of small town living. If the rhythms of farm life in the early 1900s are different from today, those of urban life are even more different from today. Nearly half of all people in towns and cities were in places of under 10,000. The small town was in many ways the heart of America. It has been written about, sung about, satirized, dramatized, and has become the symbol, sometimes even the sentimentalization, I hope I said that word right, of the American way of life almost a century ago. The cities were growing, burgeoning, frequently with people who were fleeing the farms, and they in turn were becoming the focus of the new industrialization which was the hallmark of the USA. But the industrial cities were still strange conglomerate masses of people, more and more foreign as they became swollen after the 1870s, with the floods of immigrants from Central and Southern Europe who were manning the factories and mills. Their great continuities as the American tradition could be more easily identified in the smaller towns. Life moved slowly in these places, and before World War I, changes came slowly too. To be sure, new motor cars came to town and snorted, smoky and smelling up and down the brick or cobblestone streets. Many homes had gas, though not yet electricity, and except for the poorer districts, bathrooms and plumbing. Central heating was still something of a luxury. Coal or gas stoves kept people warm, and many who were youngsters then can still remember the beautiful frost crystals inside the window panes on cold winter mornings. There were other remembered things too. The rich smell of buckwheat cakes that came up the back stairs early in the morning, cutting and dragging in the tall Christmas tree from the nearest woods through the December snow and decking it with strings of popcorn and tinsel and puffs of white cotton. The long winter evenings when children did their homework around the dining room table while mother darned socks and long black cotton stockings. Father read the paper under the fishtail gaslight. were pressed under glaring Welchback gas masks which flooded the whole room with hissing brilliance. No one thought of life as being stylized, but it was eminently predictable, and its parents rested upon a comfortable recurrence. Monday was always wash day, Tuesday ironing day, Wednesday baking day, Friday clean day, and so on. Not infrequently, the big sprawling kitchen was the center of much of the family life. People not only ate many of their meals there, but small children played there under the mother's eye. It was a kind of all-purpose room which architects and families of the latter mid-century were to rediscover with delight. Houses are set well back on ruined lots with lots of trees for youngsters to climb and with room for a sizable vegetable garden. Each house had its front porch where on summer evenings the adults would sit in porch swings that hold long conversations with friends and neighbors who came over to visit. Everybody knew everybody else in the early century American town. Most of the families had lived there all their lives. The doctor was your friend as well as your physician. You knew the grocer and the dry goods store owner and the school teacher, as well as the plumber and the carpenter. Each of whom, incidentally, took pride in being a good plumber and a good carpenter. They shared the hymn book with you in church, and it never entered their heads that they weren't just as dignified in the sight of man as well as in the sight of God as anyone else. The American small town Sunday was really a day of rest there, for the codes in many places were such that almost any non-pious activities frowned on. It's not a day for picnic, sports, or frolic, or even for reading that was not edifying. Father might take a long afternoon snooze, but the children, before they were released to read the Youth's Companion, might well have to study the shorter catechism and read a chapter in Wayland's Elements of Moral Science. Some towns took pride in having persuaded the railroad not to run local trains on Sunday, and others even banished the Sunday papers from the newsstands. The Puritan aspect made Sunday something to be endured even for those who did not question its premises. But no one returned to work Monday morning tired out. So please rate, comment, and subscribe down below. I'm still selling stuff on eBay and my books on Thrift Books. If you want my username to look me up, comment down below. And if you're on TikTok, please like and follow me, okay? Bye!